And welcome, Hoosier fans, to another edition of Banner Morning, recorded in the pre-noon hours on Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. I'm Jared Morris. We are now 52 days away from Hoosier hysteria. In schedule news, yesterday we found out about 2 games on Indiana's non-conference slate for the upcoming 2018-19 season, thanks to tweets by the opposition. Indiana will play Chicago State on November 6th, and the Hoosiers will play UT Arlington on November 20th. Both games will be in Bloomington. We already knew that Indiana was playing UT Arlington, as it is part of the 4-game event involving Arkansas, UC Davis, and Montana State. The Chicago State game, on the other hand, was new and seems likely to be the season opener, given that the Hoosiers opened last season on November 10th against...
Can't mention that name.
No, yes, you're right, Andy, we can't. Also, Chicago State is not good. They were ranked 346th out of 351 teams in KenPom last season, finishing 3-29, and they literally just hired their coach yesterday. No, unfortunately for listeners of One Shining Podcast, it was not Mark Titus. The Cougars hired Lance Irvin in what will be his first head coaching position. As for the UT Arlington game, it should pose more of a challenge. This is a program out of the Sun Belt Conference that has been very respectable over the past 2 seasons, finishing with KenPom ratings of 128 last season and 75 the year before when they made the NIT. However, the Mavericks are replacing 7 seniors off of last season's team, including their top 5 players. So they don't figure to be nearly as good this season. Still, they are a program that has only finished outside the KenPom top 200 once since 2012, so this game seems unlikely to do any real harm to the Hoosiers' non-conference strength of schedule. So this means that we now know the opponents and dates for 7 of Indiana's non-conference games. In addition to the Chicago State and UT Arlington games, Indiana will be playing Marquette, Arkansas, Louisville, Butler, and of course, Duke. And we know the opponents for 2 other games. The aforementioned UC Davis and Montana State. We're just waiting on the dates for those. Last year, the Hoosiers played 12 non-conference games plus 18 Big Ten games. This year, with the Big Ten schedule expanded to 20 games, expect the non-conference schedule to be reduced accordingly. So that means there is probably just one more mystery opponent left to be revealed on the non-conference schedule. In recruiting news, IU guard target for the class of 2019, Jamius Ramsey, announced on Twitter that he will be attending Oak Hill Academy for his senior season. This makes yet another IU target who is going the prep school route for his final year of high school, with in-state prospects Keon Brooks and Brandon Newman both choosing the prep school route as well. Also, another IU guard target for the class of 2019, Anthony Harris, announced his top 4, Virginia Tech, Miami, Wake Forest, and UConn. Noticeably absent from that list, Indiana. Time will tell if Harris decides to use his 5th official visit on a trip to Bloomington, but appearing to be a distant 5th in the current running doesn't seem to bode well. And in Big Ten news, Minnesota tweeted out a photo of the newly repainted floor at Williams Arena, a.k.a. the barn. It looks fine. It's a little gray, but it's fine, I suppose. Unfortunately, they only altered the paint and didn't alter the ridiculous raised floor. So
I hate it.
I'm with Coach. Thumbs down on the new paint job. Nothing but lipstick on a pig, as the saying goes. Thank you for listening to today's Banner Morning. Remember to come hang out with us on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube for the live broadcast of Assembly Call Radio, and then immediately following every IU game once the season begins. Until then, keep your elbows in and your eyes on the rim, and go Hoosiers.